Hello, welcome to this week's crystal video. I'm Krista Mitchell, author of Change Your Energy and Crystal Reiki, and I've been seeing in a lot of comments that you guys have been leaving on my videos, and thank you for that, asking me, is this crystal grounding, is that crystal grounding? And I thought, well, I might as well do a video on grounding crystals, because I am a great believer that everyone on a daily basis who is wearing crystals should be wearing a grounding crystal. And the reason for that is because grounding is so essential to our overall health, well-being, positive experience. To be grounded means that your energy and your awareness and your focus is centered and connected to your body and to what is presently going on around you. And for years and years, I've seen this so many times. I bump into people in the park. I bump into people on the street. In New York City, it would be in that Union Square area where the crystal tables are. And I'd see people wearing all kinds of super high, powerful, high frequency, fast vibration crystals. Some of them literally, in their ears and their hair, all over the place. And they're walking around just completely spaced out, not with it. I remember having a conversation with a guy and he was saying to me, I have all these ideas, I have all this stuff going on, and I can't seem to make anything happen. And I'm like, well, honey, are you grounded? Are you even wearing a grounding crystal? Name one crystal. Do you have one crystal on you right now that's grounding? Because he was wearing, I think, about 10 or 12 crystals, and he's like, yeah, I don't actually have a grounding crystal. And I was like, well, that's kind of part of the problem. When you're not connected with your body, with your present reality and what's going on around you, that's when you walk out into traffic without paying attention. That's where you find daily life really difficult to manage. You're always showing up late. You're not paying bills on time. You're not making things happen and moving forward in your life. Those are just some basic, and simple examples of what happens when you're not grounded. And for those of you who are empathic, those of you who are sensitive to energy, those of you who, are concerned with energy shielding and protecting and being able to shield yourself from lower harmful vibrations. When you are not grounded, you are not in your power. It leaves you very vulnerable. When we're grounded, we're in our strength, we're empowered, we're connected with our vitality, our emotional and physical fortitude. It's really, really important, just even for boundaries, and even for people who are performers, public speakers, anyone who finds they get nervous a lot and have trouble articulating themselves. A lot of times what's happening is when we get nervous, our energy rises up in our body and even our breathing becomes really shallow. Whereas when we're grounded, we're centered, our breathing is deep. We're more in control and empowered with our energy, with our feelings, with our responses. So grounding is super, super, super important. And again, as I've said, I've recommended for those of you who work with crystals on a daily basis, who wear crystals on a daily basis, I really, really encourage you to always be wearing at least one crystal that is grounding. I am always wearing at least one crystal that is grounding, because for me, for a lot of people who do spiritual work, who are psychic, I find it challenging and difficult oftentimes to stay grounded and centered in my body. It's a daily practice for me. So I totally get it. In terms of crystal suggestions, here's the other thing. Not all grounding crystals are the same. Every individual crystal has its own energy properties, its own healing benefits. So you can just reach for a general grounding crystal and that will help you stay grounded. But because crystals are multidimensional and work on us on several ways simultaneously, I always feel it's great to get good bang for your buck, and work with grounding crystals that have specific frequencies that can really help you. So I've picked 7 today. These are 7 crystals that I work with frequently that are grounding, and I'll tell you some of their different properties so you can start to choose, which grounding crystal would be best for me. And of course, it can vary day by day. But anyway, here we go. All right, number 1 first recommendation for grounding crystals is Smoky Quartz. The added benefit for Smoky Quartz, along with helping us to ground and center in our system, is that it helps to clear and reduce stress energy from our system. And for those of you who follow wellness information, health and wellness information, you will have seen and you will know that stress is considered to be one of the number 1, if not the number 1 trigger in so many health issues. It exacerbates so many health issues. It kind of, it makes everything worse, including our experience. So that's an A1 benefit for wearing Smoky Quartz for grounding. My second suggestion is Bloodstone. Bloodstone is great for health. It's great for overall wellness. It's great for abundance. And for those of you who find, especially right now in our times, you're feeling very emotional, very emotionally volatile, a lot of mood swings, this helps to balance and steady that energy out. So a good one to choose for those of you who are experiencing that. What am I going to do next? Let's do ruby. So ruby is like one of my absolute favorite crystals. And as you can see here, this is a rough chunk of non-gem grade quality ruby, and it's totally great and it totally works. But ruby is great for leadership, passion, wealth, and abundance. It's also really great for those of you who feel like you need to show up for yourselves more in your life. So really juicy, positive energy there. Shiva Lingam, another one of my total favorites. The added benefits to wearing Shiva Lingam is it's a really powerful energy booster. So for those of you who are feeling fatigued a lot, tired a lot, run down, working extra hours, extra long, whatever it might be, excellent vitality boost. Wearing Shiva Lingam is like plugging an extra battery in for energy. It's also really good for intuition. So for those of you who are working on enhancing and clarifying your intuition, but also working on trusting and following it, this is a really good choice. So now let's do Mookaite. Mookaite Jasper. This is really a very kind of yellow piece. If you guys go to the link that I've included in the description for this video, it'll take you to my blog on my website. I've got additional pictures for all of these crystals as well as the text from this video. Mookaite tends to be more of that reddish color overall, but Mookaite it's a goddess stone. It's an earth goddess stone. It really helps you to come into your power both physically and emotionally and connect more with earth consciousness. It's also a crystal that I consider energetically to be an adaptogenic. It helps us to adapt and adjust to changes, whether it's time changes, jet lag, circadian rhythm, getting back into the rhythm and flow of your own body and of the earth. Then we've got hematite. Hematite has so many healing properties that this is actually one of the required crystals for my Pro Crystal Healer course. It's really kind of an amazing stone to work with. I consider hematite actually to be the most grounding out of all of these crystals that I've been talking about. So hematite helps to boost vitality, overall energy, physical strength and stamina, but it's also really good for people who feel they need to hold their ground more, people who are working on honoring boundaries as well as breaking habits, because hematite is a stone of conviction and fortitude. And last but not least, red Jasper. Red Jasper is a stone of courage. It's a stone of strength. It's a stone of endurance, both physical, and emotional. And it's one of those crystals that you can work with, you can wear day after day after day, and it won't overpower your energy. This is very much a steady as you go, continually putting out sustaining energy stone and crystal. So it's an excellent, excellent one to choose for those of you who feel you need those vibrations. So those are my 7 grounding crystals that I recommend. There are so many other grounding crystals out there. These are just 7 that I felt could be useful for you guys to know about. So always trust whichever grounding crystal you feel guided to, because it's most likely the energy you need. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them for me here in the comments. And if you want to learn more about my work, working with me, training with me in an online crystal course, or my books, you can go to my website, krista-mitchell.com. So thanks so much, guys. I hope that was of service to you, and I will be posting more videos soon.